after playing Shane Van Boning. He's got to try and cope with eagle-eye Jayson Shaw. With me in the commentary box is Michael McMullen. And really, without being too harsh on Kaci, he's only got himself to blame.
Yeah, absolutely. It's part of being a professional sportsman that you plan for these things. You make sure you're there at the table on time, and everyone else has managed it, whatever the circumstances may have been. I know he was given a call earlier and told that he was due on the table, and to be fair, he wasn't trying to make excuses or blame anyone else. But the thing is, he basically just rushed straight from his room to the table and straight back on to play another match. So it's not like he's had any time to regroup or try to gain his composure once again, or even go and have a shower. He may not even have had time to do anything like that. But as you say, Phil, that's his responsibility, and he's paying the price for it now.
Over on table 2, Albin Ousham was in control against Naoki Oi. Getting a little tighter there, though. Oi has just cut in the 9-ball along the top cushion to trail only 4-3. Could Ousham's 100% record be under threat? On another day, in another rack, in another competition, Kaci could have got away with that, but the way things have gone in this event, he just knew he was going to leave it. As for Jayson Shaw, well, he's got matches in hand on the majority of the players in the table. But he doesn't want to get into a situation where he's only in the top 10. He wants to be well inside to give himself a platform to move from 10 players to 6. As I made the point in the previous match, easy to get complacent, but that's dangerous. Every match counts. Counts big.
Yeah, and his last match of yesterday was an important one for him, beating Alex Kazakis 5-0. And he needed that result because at that stage, he'd lost 3 of his last 4 matches. In fact, it was the only win he got from his 3 contests yesterday. He'd made a very positive start, opened up with 3 wins in a row, 3 comfortable wins as well, all 5-2 or better. So that win over Kazakis, who's been going well in this tournament, was very much needed to get him back on track.
A penny for his thoughts. He looks still a little bit sleepy. He was yawning, actually, in the previous match.
Well, it's like I was saying, you have to assume if he wasn't at the table, it was probably because he wasn't awake. So he probably only been asleep about 10 minutes before coming to the table. Jayson Shaw's given him a bit of a wake-up call there, though, taking a 1-0 lead.
So over on table 2, Albin Ousham still looking for the decisive blow against Oi. And knowing the kind of competitor that Ousham is, he will be desperate to remain unbeaten. He will see that as a badge of honour, quite rightly so. And the way these balls are lying, you have to believe he's got a golden chance to do so.
Yeah, if Oi loses this one, he'll still be on 4 wins, and he's only got 4 matches to go. Now, we've been saying all along, we think 5 wins will be enough to get through. So you might think, okay, only needs 1 more win from 4. Should be manageable. But I'm wondering, Phil, looking at the table, whether it's time for a rethink. I'm thinking perhaps it's going to be 6 now. When you look at the mathematics of how things are playing out, that seems to be. We did say all along 5 might be enough, 6 probably would. I'm now thinking it's more likely than not that 5 will be insufficient.
Yeah, rather like a Friday at a golf tournament when the cut line oscillates and you're not quite sure. It will be Friday, the cut line here.
Second rack.
We'll keep you informed about Aushin after that less than ideal positional shot, which left the cue ball close to the side cushion, but he does coax in the 6 anyway. Now let's see Jayson Shaw's break off here. Well, the 1 finds its way in eventually. An open shot on the 2. When the balls are struck there, you thought maybe that break isn't what he wanted, but now it most certainly is. Back on table 2, Aushin just a couple of balls away from making it 10 out of 10. And of course, replacing Joshua Filler at the top of the table. He would not miss this in a month of Sundays, even though he's stretching a little. Taking his time, looking at the shot clock. Oh, he has missed it. That is simply remarkable.
What was the expression you used, Phil? Never in a month of Sundays. And he's missed it on a Thursday morning. That is... I'm going to nominate that as the most surprising miss of the whole week.
We weren't with that rack all the way through. I can only assume he'd already taken his extension. And maybe he felt slightly rushed, but even then. But in the end, that missed 9 ball is not punished.
I think if you want to explain to someone what the term let off means, you just show them that little sequence of play. Tell you what, though, again, you'd expect him to get this 99% of the time. It's harder than the one he's just missed.
Carl Boys said it well last night. He just keeps dodging bullets, and there's another one. He could easily have gone hill there, but Albin Aushin does defeat Naoki Oi by 5 racks to 3, and so it's 10 out of 10 for the 9-ball rankings #1 and the world 9-ball champion.
We've used the word perfectionist to describe Albin Aushin a number of times, haven't we? Even this week we've said it on several occasions. And I spoke to him last night about the prospect of making it 15 out of 15, and it's something he agrees is possible and he'd love to do. Imagine how gutted he would have been if he'd lost that match and blown his chance to complete the perfect 15. And after that incredible miss on the 9-ball. Well, he'll be doing very well, though, Phil, to stay 100% by the end of today, because his 2 remaining matches in this session are against David Al-Kaidi and Jayson Shaw. But if he comes through those, he'll go into tomorrow needing to beat Skylar Woodward, Shane Van Boning and Kelly Fisher to complete that remarkable achievement. So still a huge amount of work to do when you look at the list of opponents he's got.
Oh, look at the 9-ball. It was in motion and it went in. Eklent Kaci. Well, what does he think about all of this? Everything conceivably is going against him. 1 ball cut in, 9-ball removed off the side cushion, flicks in off the 3, and it is 3-0 to Jayson Shaw. What a remarkable morning already.
Just starting on the other table, Alex Kaci and David Al-Kaidi. Both of those players currently in the top 4. Kaci going from strength to strength, really, getting better and better. Some of his performances have been absolutely flawless, particularly the one against Naoki Oi yesterday. So they're both on 6 wins already. As you were alluding to earlier, Phil, for players like that, really at this stage, it's not about getting through to the next phase. They know they're going to be in it. It's about building themselves a foundation from which to then get through to the final day.
Can't really complain after the way he fluked the 9-ball in the previous rack. But he knocked in the 3 off the break there, and where the 1 came to rest, it could so easily have been on. Another revolution of the ball, in fact. I think that's one of the common traits in a lot of Jayson Shaw's matches so far. If he has made a misjudgment, either in terms of safety or potting or positional play, it's because he's overcooked things. This table really is fast.
So what kind of resistance can Eklent Kaci put up? Been an absolute
Going home or on to the next event, the case might be. Let's just take a quick peek over onto table 2, where it looks like Alexander Kaci is going to draw first blood against David Al-Kaidi. Just got the feeling we might see the best of Kaci over the next couple of days. I think the jet lag associated with returning from the event he won in Wisconsin on Saturday, that might be abating now. Getting acclimatised in more ways than one.
There's no way Alex Kaci, though, can ever face David Al-Kaidi across a table and not think of that World Masters final that he so nearly won 3 years ago now. Near enough.
Yeah, really good point, Michael. I was commentating on that, and it's the most exciting finish, certainly, to a match I've ever seen. Kaci led 5-0 and 8-5. He was on the hill. Not all was actually quite close to the pocket there, but look where the cue ball is. Locked in behind the 5.
Foul shot.
And the error
Ball in hand.
has been forthcoming.
Start the clock, please.
He spoke about the ability that Kaci has, the natural talent. He's got a call on it here because it's not like he's been out to hit a few balls, having rushed to the table before his first match. You've got to rely on pure instinct when your preparation has been, well, the exact opposite of ideal. There's a term that's used in tennis, tanking, when a player basically throws in the towel and clearly isn't making any effort. Will be tempting in Kaci's situation. He's doing so badly in the tournament. It's been a nightmare morning. But no sign of it at all. And Jayson Shaw was coasting along at 3-0. He knows he's in a match now.
Indeed, he does. It is now 3-2 to Shaw, and his break-off in rack 6 could be very important indeed. Still early days on table 2. Kaci won the opening rack. And he's done pretty well getting out of that snooker. Now, Kaci knocks in a good pot to middle, and it looks as though he's got a 2-9 combination chance here. A lot of distance for the 9 to travel, but he fancies it.
Extension, please.
Working on the principle this could be his last shot of the rack. He's taking his 30-second extension. Sorted out.
Wins the second track.
A swift way to equalise, Michael. That was a really good pot from David Kaci. A really well thought out sequence. 1 to the middle and then the 2-9 combo.
Yeah, I love watching David Al-Kaidi. I love his technique. It's so good, so solid, so dependable. And that's why you rarely see him pass up opportunities or make elementary mistakes.
Now, talking about opportunities, Shaw's break off here worked a lot better than the last time he broke off. Free open table. He's such a good potter. Sensational in that regard. You can't really see him failing here.
When he was in the box the other day, he acknowledged that he took his eye off the ball a bit over the last 12 months, and that was why his results weren't so good, and why he's down at 17 in the new world rankings. Such a good start to the year, winning the Turning Stone Classic for the 7th time. Had a good week at the Derby City Classic, and as a little bonus, there was that successful world record attempt, 714 balls in a row in straight pool. So I think early signs are we're going to see much more of the real Jayson Shaw in 22.
Yes, that Turning Stone Classic. He owns that tournament up there in Verona, New York. And after that rack, it doesn't seem as though there's going to be a turning point in Eklent Kaci's fortunes. Jayson Shaw on the hill at 4-2. Milton Keynes has not been kind to Eklent Kaci. He's 4-2 down to Jayson Shaw in his 10th match in this round robin. So it looks as though he's going to be stuck on 1 point, 15th out of 16. In fact, if he were to lose this, of course, his rack's difference would be worse than Max Lechner's, and consequently, he might even fall to the foot of the table. Really, it's just a matter of semantics. He's well outside the top 10, who will go through to the second phase. And matches and time running out for the Albanian. At least he gets to break off in rack 7, and if there's a decider, he'll break off in that as well.
Well, We're just going back to the table. Bottom line is, Phil, if he loses this match, he may well have to win every single match he has left after that, because that would take him to 6 wins. Still has 2 more matches to play today, both quite late on against Max Lechner, another player down there near the bottom. And then David O'Cady, who is quite definitely near the top.
Well, he would not have attempted that pot had the gap been there to knock in the 2 past the 9. Another error. Well, you can see quite clearly it goes. Maybe a little snug, but it went.
Extension code.
Taking an extension here, Jayson Shaw. He's really good at cutting balls in thin. Problem is, when you do that, you tend to compromise control of the cue ball. So playing with lots of side to widen the angle off the top cushion. And that's worked out okay. More than okay.